Hello everyone, hope you all are fine and safe too. Nowadays, we all are going through a pandemic situation, and none of us expected this to be. But can any of these stop us from exploring the world of learning? No, not at all. Our thirst for knowledge can only be cured by knowledge. So let's go for it. And today we are going to learn the second chapter of biology, cell clusters. So before getting into the topic, can I ask you a question? In the previous chapter, we have learned a lot about cells. And I think that you all clearly know that each organ in our body is made of cells. So my question is that if each organ in our body is made of cells, then why are they so different? Their appearance is different, their texture is different, and their functions are also different. What differentiates them? What causes this diversity? Let's find the answer for this question in this chapter. Cells are the basic structural and functional unit of all organisms. Even though all organisms and their organs are made of cells, they are made of different kinds of cells. And do you want to know what are the main different kinds of cells by which the human body is made of? To know that, let's have a look at this picture which is there in your textbook. In this picture, you can see different types of cells marked in different parts of the body. Here you can see the nerve cells, bone cells, muscle cells and blood cells which is labeled accordingly to the organs in which they function. Now, I think that you all understood why each organ is different and they perform different functions. Not only this, the diversity among cells is a quite interesting topic. To know more about it, let's read the highlighted paragraph in page 23 which tells about the diversity among cells. So let's read it. Each part of the human body is made up of millions of different kinds of cells. There are about 200 different kinds of cells like nerve cell, muscle cell, blood cell, bone cell, etc. in the human body. And in short, we can say that cell diversity refers to the range of different cell types that comprise a tissue or organism. Wow, what a wonder is our body! By knowing all this diversity among cells, a boy is asking a question. So let's listen to it. What a wonder our body is! How do millions of such cells function effectively without getting messed up? That's an important question. So what do you think about it? How do these diverse kinds of cells work together without getting messed up? Do anyone know the answer for it? Yes, they work in group. And what's the name of this group? Tissues. So let's read about tissue. Tissues are groups of similar cells that have a common origin and perform specific functions. There are different kinds of tissues in multicellular organisms like plants and animals. The coordinated action of these tissues helps in performing different physiological functions effectively. I think that the diversity among cells made you wonder a lot. And would you believe if I say that all these different kinds of cells are formed from a single cell? Our entire body is formed from a single undifferentiated cell called zygote, which later develops into a partially differentiated cell called pyoidal cells, and it later changes into nerve cell, bone cells, blood cells, and muscle cells. And this is how our body is formed from a single undifferentiated cell. And do you know what this process is called? It is cell differentiation. To get closer to it, let's read the paragraph Above illustration 2.2 in page 24. From a single cell. Our body is developed from a single cell called zygote. The zygote undergoes continuous divisions and forms the fetus consisting cells of different shape, size and content. The fetal cells gradually attain change in structure and function. This process is known as cell differentiation. Hope you all understood what is cell differentiation. We learned that the fetus cell can change into any other kinds of cell. But there are still some cells in our body which has the capacity to change into any other kinds of cell. I know that all of you are curious to know which are those cells. But before that, I need to read this newspaper report given in page 24. A giant leap in stem cell research. Science has succeeded in artificially developing tissues from stem cells. A lot of research has gone into this achievement, which should become a milestone in the field of medicine. After reading this news report, a girl is asking a doubt, so let's listen to her. What are these stem cells? Are they cells within seeds? Do you also think the same? No, stem cells are not cells within seeds. Then what are they? Stem cells are the cells which can change into any other kinds of cell when those cells get damaged in our body. Stem cells are specialized cells that can transform into any kind of cells. Stem cells undergoes constant differentiation, get transformed into other kinds of cells. So, that's what I told before, a cell that can transform into any other kind of cell. There are a lot more to learn about stem cells, but before that, I want you to answer for these 3 indicators given below. What are the peculiarities of stem cells when compared to other cells? So, what are their peculiarities? So, the answer is, it can transform into any other cell. It can cure diseases like blood cancer, diabetes, Parkinson's, etc. When cells in tissues get destroyed, stem cells can change into that cell. Now, the second question. How is the destruction of cells in tissues compensated? When the cells in tissues get destroyed, stem cells changes into that cell. That is the answer of this question. I hope that the answer for these 2 indicators were quite easy. Now the third one. Why is stem cell research gaining importance? What do you think? Can you answer it by yourself? Just try to do it. And don't forget to record it in your science diary. There are mainly 2 types of tissue, the animal tissue and the plant tissue. Now, it's time to learn about the animal tissue. I have given a short description about the tissues before. And do you know who is the father of study of cells and tissues? It is the French scientist Xavier Bichat, who formulated the theory of tissues. Animal tissues. There are mainly 4 types of animal tissue: the epithelial tissue, the connective tissue, the muscular tissue, and the nervous tissue. What are their functions and their features? Let's learn it one by one. Are you ready for it? Then let's go. The first one is the epithelial tissue. It covers and protects the body. It lines the inner wall of the digestive tract. It performs functions such as protection, absorption, and protection of secretions. The next one is the nervous tissue. It controls and coordinates physiological functions. It enables to respond identifying the changes inside and outside the body. I hope you all understood the functions of epithelial tissue and nervous tissue. The next is the muscular tissue. It consists of cells that can contract and regain the original state. It enables the movement of the body. At last, the most important one, the connective tissue. Either connects different tissues or acts as a support to them. Bone, cartilage, fibrous tissue, blood, etc. are various connective tissues. Bone and cartilage provide support and protection and definite shape to the body. Fibrous tissue connects other tissues. Blood carries out the conduction of materials and makes the body resistant to diseases. There is a short paragraph given in page 26 which is for reading, but it will help you a lot to understand about the connective tissues. Hope you all will read it and write your inferences in your science diary. Hope you all understood what I tried to convey today. To do a self-evaluation and to revise what you have learned today, I have prepared a short activity section so you can understand that whether you have learned it. Here I have prepared 3 activities for you. The first one is to write a short description about the tissues. The second one is to do a simple comparison between the stem cells and the other cells. The third one is to explain the cell differentiation. You can either explain it with a diagram or you can explain it through words. So these are the activities that I am giving to you today. There are a lot more in this chapter to learn, but this is all for today. Hope you all understood and try to do those activities that I gave to you. Hope you all enjoyed and understood today's class. Now it's time for me to conclude it. Thanks for your patience and kind listening. Stay home, stay safe, and keep learning. Wishing all of you a wonderful day.